Some features described may not be available in your Sage 100 system. Welcome! Over the next few minutes, we will tour the Sage 100 desktop. The main components of the Sage 100 desktop are the ribbon, the navigation pane, the browser, and the status bar. We will start with the review of the ribbon. The Home tab has several options, including the Change Company button that lets you switch the current company, and the Change Date button that lets you change the accounting date for the current module. If your system is integrated with Sage Fixed Assets, Sage CRM, and pane Exchange, you can start them here. You can also start a live chat with Sage support from the Home tab. Next, we'll look at the Modules tab. It lets you change the current module and open tasks. The list is filtered based on your security setup. Notice that the sales order menus now appear on the ribbon, and you can click a menu to open a task. You can now show or hide the Favorites tab, Web Content tab, and Recent tab, which shows recent tasks opened in Sage 100. Expanded tooltips now show where tasks are located. For example, hovering over Company Maintenance displays the tooltip located in the Library Master main menu. On the View tab, you can customize the appearance of the desktop and task windows. In the Visual Options section, you can select the available themes that change the appearance of the desktop. The Application Scaling button lets you increase the font size for both the desktop and the Sage 100 task windows. In the Recent group, you can enter the number of items to show on the Recent tab if you have it enabled. For example, if you enter 12, then the Recent tab will display the last 12 tasks accessed. The checkboxes in the Item Arrangement group let you sort module lists, module menus, and tasks alphabetically. Lastly, on the Help tab, the Resources button has been added to provide a one-stop shop to the Sage Community Hub. This is where you can find links to the Sage Community Hub, Knowledge Base, Sage University, and additional services. Next, we'll move on to the navigation pane. You can control what appears in the navigation pane by selecting one of the content groups. By default, you have 3 content groups: Web Content, Modules, and Favorites. If you want to hide one or more of them, you can do that by clicking the arrow. If you click Navigation Pane Options, you can hide a button by clearing the checkbox. You now have the option to add Recent in the navigation pane. The Modules content group provides another way to get to the task menus. When you click a module, its menus appear here in the task pane. The Web Content group has hyperlinks that open in the embedded browser. You can add a link by going to the View tab on the ribbon and clicking the Edit Web Content button. Click New, and then enter the URL and the name that you want to appear. I will enter the URL, sageu.com. For Sage University, which is a great resource to Sage product training and more. If you want shortcuts to more than web pages, use the Favorites group. You can add shortcuts to tasks, files, folders, other programs, and websites. To add a shortcut to another program, you can drag it from the Windows Start menu or your Windows desktop. You can also drag a file or folder from Windows File Explorer. To add a link to a web page, you can browse to the page in your browser, then drag the URL that appears in the web address bar to the Favorites area. You can add tasks and other items to the new Public Favorites group. These items are listed on the Favorites panel when you click Public Favorites, and they are available to all Sage 100 users. For Sage 100 tasks, access is based on the user's security setup. You can also access your favorites from the ribbon. If you don't see the Favorites tab, click anywhere in the ribbon and select the option to show it. If you already have a link in the web content group, simply drag it, which will automatically add it to your favorites. Lastly, you can click the arrow to minimize the navigation pane. You still have access to the content groups, and you can bring up the navigation menu by clicking anywhere in this column. The content then appears in a pop-up window. It will close when you select something. The last thing we're going to look at is the status bar. It shows the current company. For example, if I click the company name, I get the Select Company window. So if I have more than one company set up, I can switch to a different one. Other information in the status bar is the current module, the ID of the person logged in, and the accounting date.